Welcome back, Retro Gamers, to video 11 in the series Destiny of an Emperor playthrough. In video 10, you may remember we successfully traversed the first part of the province of Shu. We defeated enemy forces at the no-name fortress and also here at the gate of Fushui Castle. And we liberated Louis Jing, who was being held prisoner here in Fushui. I realize in that last video I may, in some of my remarks, have called this Luo Castle. If I did, then be not confused, it is Fushui. In between the time that I stopped that last video and have started up now, we did a little bit of housekeeping. We replenished our stores of power pills and elixir C's. We replaced Wei Yan with Zhao Yun out of our reserve staff because Wei Yan is not a tiger and Zhao Yun is the next tiger in line. So if we're proceeding through some of the fields of Shu, and Zhao Yun will increase in soldier count, and we may have an opportunity to put him into the fighting generals. We saved our game here, but you may remember my caution: do not shut down here at Fushui Castle, because the only way to get back to Fushui Castle is to go through Walter's Wiggles and that first area in Shu that is very difficult to traverse. If you make that mistake and have to do that, you know that when you shut down a game, you'll come back up where Liu Bei is, and Liu Bei right now is in Guiyang Castle. There's no place here in Fushui for him to be, quote-unquote, entertained, and so there's no way to get back here. It's not on the Gull Wing list, and so you'll have to traverse all of that territory between Guiyang and here to get back to here. So don't shut down when you get to Fushui. Later on, there will be a castle that will be on the Gull Wing list. And eventually, of course, there will be a place to invite Liu Bei. So it'll be easier in the future. Right now, stick with it until you get further up the line. Now we are headed to an interesting little place. One of the characters in Fushui Castle has mentioned a swordsmith that is located south of here and might have some good weapons for us, and we're going down to visit that swordsmith. So, back out of the barricade and around this little promontory, and of course we'll have to fight our way there. Oh, I might mention one other point of housekeeping. There was a weapons upgrade available there at Fushui. There's a new helmet, and I've equipped all of our generals with the new helmet. I also replaced the trident with a sword. There's a toss-up between the trident and the bow, and the sword as far as power is concerned, but it's pretty clear that the swords are more powerful than the trident. So we upgraded one of our generals with a sword at this point. And here is the old swordsmith. The only good iron is in the area is at Mount Gang Tai, and very hard to find. So if we brought that back, he could make his masterpiece. So, we happen to know that Mount Gang Tai is north of Fushui Castle. So we head back to Fushui Castle, fighting all the way. And we didn't experience enough casualties to cause us to refresh ourselves. So let's move on down the track. North of Fushui Castle, over the river again, and another couple of mountain ranges. And neither one of these generals are any threat to us, so I think we can push them aside. And we'll let both of them go. And let's hit the barricade. We've got a Frankenstein cap, so Wan Quan is probably going to use some tactics against us. 66, 165, Ling Bao, 180, 70. So they're middling strong, but we have enough power and elixirs that I'm not going to do a targeted attack against them. You may want to. There's always a risk that they'll get a super hit in and cause us problems with one of our generals. But it looks like with our superior weaponry, we fairly easily overcome the barricade defense and climbed another skill level. And Wan Fu, the tactic that we just learned, is a restorative tactic that works only on one general, but it restores him to full strength. So it's a very powerful restorative if you've only got one general in trouble. The bad news is that means that the former restorative that we had that worked on all the generals has probably been set aside, so we only have that one general restorative right now. Meanwhile, let's take a look at our battle group, and it looks like they are all in good shape. Remember, though, that we only have C elixirs left, and those are restoring 1,000 generals at a time, or 1,000 soldiers at a time. But it looks like Guan Yu and Wan Chong, we always are a little more careful with them because their personnel count is so much lower than the other generals. So at this point, and because we'll probably get Elixir C's in this castle that we're attacking, Luo Castle, we can go ahead and use a couple of our spare Elixir C's for Guan Yu and Wan Chong. And then let's hit the portal. Okay, this is an interesting guy. Ma Chao. Take a look at him. Strength of 245, intelligence of 162, and 3,200 soldiers. Ma Chao is one of the tigers. And so we definitely want him on our team. His brother slash cousin slash father, son, uncle, Ma Dai, also very strong and pretty intelligent, is not a tiger, but he is a tough fighter. And bringing up the rear is Pong Day, and he is obviously the tactician for this group. So we're going to do tactics against Ma Dai and Ma Chao, and we're going to do weapons against Pong Day. But the first thing that we're going to do, looks like we're going to need everything we've got to overcome these guys. So instead of doing a battle here, we'll do the Beiji tactic to strengthen Zhang Fei's strikes. And we'll do the same thing with Ma Su to strengthen Guan Yu's strikes. And remember, I shared with you the double whammy punch that I call it, the 1-2 punch. I have a separate video for it, the top 10 tricks video, number 10, as a matter of fact. But so I'll just mention it again that we are going to combine that Beiji tactic with the power pills, and we have to time them just right because of the randomness of the battle turns. But we're going to use Zhang Fei, and I thought I had restored, oh, I did, restored all the power pills. So we'll use power pill against Ma Chao. This time we'll just use muscle. I'm sorry, we're going to use that power pill combined with the Beiji against Peng De. Since we're not sure Guan Yu will have Beiji before he swings, we are just going to let him do a standard battle. And the same thing with Wan Zhong. What we're going to do with Wan Zhong is, well, let's go ahead and just have a standard battle. So we're going to gang up on Peng De. Notice his Da Rei fire tactic against Guan Yu cost Guan Yu 1,000 soldiers. So it's a good thing we strengthened him just before we hit the portal. And you see Ma Dai and Ma Su are taking big chunks, or Ma Dai and Ma Chao are taking big chunks out of our generals as well. So Zhang Fei's power pill almost takes out Peng De all by itself. Now, Peng Tong is our best fighting tactician, so let's start using Da Rei against these two guys. And Ma Su, just thinking that what we'll probably do is use an elixir C from Ma Su to replenish Guan Yu. And then we've got Beiji in effect for Zhang Fei and Guan Yu. So we'll use power pills. And we're going to let Wan Zhong, should have done this last time, do his own Beiji, since we've got both of our tacticians busy on other things. And, now Ma Su is in deep Kinji. So we're going to have to use an emergency elixir on Ma Su here if he survives this battle round. And we have routed Ma Chao. That's a very good thing. We'll use the remaining elixir C from Peng Tong for Ma Su, lest he be struck by Ma De and eliminated from the game, and we'll let Ma Su try to get some revenge with his tactic. Zhang Fei is out of power pills, so we'll let him go against Peng De. And power pills against Ma Dai. This should be enough to rout the entire defense. So Ma Su is out of danger, but he was not able to succeed with his fire tactic. On the other hand, all of our power pills and armory took effect, and we have triumphed against Luo Castle. And Ma Chao is so impressed that he wants to join our side, and of course, because he's a tiger, we will certainly say yes. And the first thing we're going to do is refresh ourselves. Now, let's head to our friendly local headquarters. and take a look at Ma Chao. Let's take a look and see what we've got in our reserve now. And spoiler alert, we've got a little bit of a surprise. The good part of the surprise is that not only did Ma Chao join us, but Ma Dai also joined us. So he will be a great addition to our battle group. And the bad news is Ma Chao retains his strength and intelligence, but loses half his soldiers. So when he joins our battle group, he's only going to have 1,500 soldiers. So let's take a look now at our battle group profile and see how that will affect us. Ma Dai, obviously, we want to bring him on. And Ma Chao, with only 1,515 soldiers, we could put him in the trailer position in place of Zhao Yun, perhaps. Now there's another little trick here, a little tip for you. You see that Zhu Liang has 1,515 soldiers. You saw that Ma Chao had 1,515 soldiers. For the next few levels, Zhu Liang and Ma Chao will have the same number of soldiers at each level. So if we've got Ma Chao in the reserve, we can still tell how many soldiers he has by looking at Zhu Liang. And that will come in handy a little bit later on. But right now, get used to having some of our tigers in reserve and having to have a headquarters to pull them out of reserve when their soldier level exceeds those of the non-tigers in our battle group. For the moment, we want to bring Masu in, and the person we are going to replace, take a look that Zhang Fei Guan Yu, now both at Seed Masu, Wan Zhang, is within 100 soldiers of Masu. So we are going to replace Masu with Ma Dai. And true to the technique that I mentioned to you last time about swapping knapsacks, we are first going to delete Masu, sorry. And then we're going to bring on Ma Dai. And Ma Dai thus picks up Masu's knapsack. So let's put him in our formation. He'll go right under Peng Tong. Peng Tong first, then Ma Dai. Now we could replace Zhao Yun with Ma Chao at this point, but I'm not going to do that right now. We're going to save that for later, just in case things change along the way. That's a foreshadowing. Let's see what else we might have available here in Luo Castle. We are going to sell Ma Dai's sword. The reason being that there's a better weapon hidden in the well here. Oops, I hope. Sure enough, a battle axe. And Ma Dai being by far the strongest general. Now, he doesn't have a strength rating that's equal to Zhang Fei, but he has about 30% more soldiers right now. So we're going to equip Ma Dai with that battle axe, next generation weapon. Unfortunately, we do not have power pills at this friendly local merchant here. And so all we can do at the moment is just replenish our store of elixirs. And we're ready to move on down the line here. Remember that we are looking for iron ore in Mount Gang Tai. And it just so happens that we are about to hit the entrance to the caves of Mount Gang Tai. And here is Yan Yan. We have fought him before, I believe. Maybe not. Let's take a look at him. 207, 154, 3,200 soldiers. He would be a great addition to our team. And on the other side of the coin, he's going to inflict a boatload of casualties if he ever gets his feet under him. Fortunately, we were able to defeat him at this point. And we offer him a place on our team. And he says he'll join us for a horse. And that is a great trade. So now we've got Yan Yan on our team, but he happens to be in reserve because we've already got 7 generals in our battle group. Let's take a look at Ming Da, because Tao Qian we're not going to worry too much about. He's nothing that we want to recruit at this point, but Ming Da has 3,500 soldiers. Now he's only got a strength of 154, so we're going to say that he does not pass our recruitment criteria. And let's see if we can just push these guys out of the way. We've still got plenty of elixirs. Now, keeping in mind that if we can get the iron ore out of Mount Gang Tai, we're not going to go any further up the track to encounter any unknown castles or fortresses. We're going to let Tao Qian go, and we're going to let Ming Da go. Could be a mistake. You might want to add him. I'm looking for somebody better. Like, for example, the guy we picked up, Yan Yan. He was a great addition. And since we are going from Mount Gang Tai back down the track to the swordsmith, assuming we've got the iron ore, and here it is. Now, there is also in Mount Gang Tai a treasure chest with gold coins in it. Let's say there's maybe 1,500 gold coins. Now, up to this point, that's been a hefty sum, and we've been more than willing to take the extra time in a tunnel and the extra fighting to get to a treasure chest. But take a look at our battle that we just completed. Against 4 rebel forces, we picked up almost 1,100 gold coins. So at this point, that treasure chest is, to me anyway, I mean, I hate to leave money on the table, but that treasure chest isn't of value if you compare it to our time. So I'm going to leave that extra treasure chest where it is. You might want to do differently. I mean, I am a penny pincher, but if you're more of a penny pincher than I am, you'll happily pick up that treasure chest. and get more fighting on the way, so, you know. Okay, Wu Yi 176.43 doesn't quite reach the level. We would have taken that other guy over Wu Yi. Since we didn't take him, we're not going to take Wu Yi either. But it looks like he has put Zhang Fei in a bit of trouble here. So Zhang Fei needs an elixir. And nobody else does. Pang Tong is close, but not quite. So let's use one of our C's for Zhang Fei. Double check that we did the right thing. And he's now out of danger, and we are headed back out of Mount Gangtai. And here's Zhang Ren again. We've fought him before, and he is very worthy of our battle group, much more so than Wu Lan. So let's do the targeted attack against Zhang Ren, because he packs a powerful wallop. I'm just trying to remember. I always get mixed up between Zhang Ren and Yan Yan because they have exactly the same number of soldiers and exactly the same strength rating. And it is a great coup for you if you can get both of them into your battle group. But have we seen Zhang Ren before? Or is he just out in the field testing our fighters? And then he's going back to a castle or a fortress somewhere near here to prepare for the real battle. That sometimes happens, as you know. We'll encounter a general in the field, and then, hey presto, he's at the barricades. Let's see if we can recruit him. He's coming over for 7,400 gold coins, which is just a little bit more than 10% of what we got. So yes, we will absolutely recruit him. So we've got both Zhang Ren and Yan Yan. They are a double threat, and we'll be happy to have them in our battle group. And truth be known, that's the reason I didn't switch our trailers out back at Fushui, or back at Luo Castle, because it would have been kind of an exercise in futility, since we've got these other two powerful warlords to take temporary positions in our battle group now. That whole trailer situation is going to change significantly in a second. Wang Lai we have fought before. And from my experience, I'll share a little tip with you. We've got Zhang Ren and Yan Yan, and between those two, we're not going to find any better generals to add to our group at this point. So remember now, we are on the mini quest to get that iron ore to the swordsmith so he can make us his masterpiece. Just keeping an eye on Zhang Fei because he seems a little low, as does Ma Dai. But we are so close to the castle that I'm going to roll the dice and just keep plugging. And we'll refresh ourselves now. Now, if you didn't pick up on it along the way, Luo will now be in your Gullwing group. So you could shut down your game here, but the trick is that there's no historian here to save your game. So you've got a historian at Fushui Castle, and you've got the Gullwing destination here at Luo Castle. So if you want to shut down anywhere between those two, you've got to kind of manage things pretty closely. Meanwhile, we are topping off our Elixir Seas. And let's go visit our friendly neighborhood headquarters and see if we can bring our two new acquisitions into our battle group. So, who are we going to replace? Well, obviously the low two men on the totem pole are Guan Yu and Wan Zhong. And so let's start with Wan Zhong. Put him in reserve and replace him with, if I recall correctly, I could be wrong about this, but we've got Zhang Ren and Yan Yan, and I think Zhang Ren is first in line. I know he's second in line as far as acquisition, but 207 strength, 165 intelligence, and a boatload of soldiers. So let's put him into the formation. I can never remember. I should have noticed which one was had more soldiers. Yeah, Zhang Ren does. Okay, now we want to bring Yan Yan in as well. But here's the trick, and I've probably mentioned this before. If you try to put Zhang Fei or Guan Yu into the reserve, the game won't let you. You get this Guan Yu is still young and he shows a great deal of talent. Don't give up on him so easily. So we can't put him in, to do our little dipsy doodle. We could retire him, bring Zhang Ren in or Yan Yan in to inherit his knapsack, and then swap Guan Yu out with our current trailer. But they won't let us do that with Guan Yu or with Zhang Fei. So we are faced with the one-for-one exchange process. So we're going to delete our current trailer, Zhao Yun, and we're going to bring on new member, Yan Yan. And Yan Yan has the same 207 strength rating, but he's not quite as smart. He's 10 points lower than Zhang Ren. So we're going to put him in the formation right behind Zhang Ren. So we got Pang Tong, Zhang Ren, then Yan Yan, then Ma Dai, Zhang Fei, and we are going to put Guan Yu in the trailer position, and now we've got to do an item for item swap between Yan Yan and Guan Yu. Wait a minute. Oh, so Yan Yan has inherited Zhao Yun's knapsack with all those elixirs in it. Fortunately, we've got some space to work with because we use some of our power pills. So we're going to pass an elixir C to somebody else, say Zhang Ren for right now. And now we can do the one-for-one transfers between Guan Yu and mercifully, oops, gotta take another C out of Yan Yan's backpack and pass it to Guan Yu. And then we'll get the copper helmet to Yan Yan. And then we'll equip Yan Yan with his new weaponry. And now remember, we want to leave 2 spaces in the knapsack for Yan Yan to have power pills when they become available. Oops. Oh, that reminds me. Why did Zhuji Liang have a space in his knapsack? Because it cost us a horse to bring, I guess it was Zhang Ren, onto our battle group. And now we are without a horse. And almost like a gull wing, it's always important to have a horse with you, just in case you find a really good general out in the field, and that's what he wants to join you. So the horse is a good bribe to have, and we don't have one now. But we do have a gull wing, and between you and me, there is not a horse to be had in all of Shu province, I don't believe. So I'm just going to take that gull wing because I know that Luo is now on the list. Notice Luo down at the bottom. But I'm going to head back to friendly Ozhujo because I know that there are horses in the inventory, steeds that is, at our friendly neighborhood trader. I want a steed. But now I don't have a space for another gull wing. So what I'm going to have to do is first pass one of my elixirs, and this begins to get complicated. Let's pass it off to Ma Dai. And we've replaced our gull wing. And having acquired a steed and a gull wing, we're going to use the gull wing to get back to Luo Castle. And back to the merchant and replace the gull wing. And for right now, that's good enough. we're going to need to replace our power pills when we get back down the road to Fushui Castle. Because remember, we are on the mini quest to get the iron ore to the swordsmith. So back along the track we go to Fushui. And of course, we're going to have to fight our way through. Now, if I were smart, I would have also refreshed us at the inn, just to bring our battle group back up to full speed. So let's do refresh ourselves. And now let's get to our friendly neighborhood merchant and let's take an inventory of our knapsacks. Peng Tong has everything including the iron ore. So we want to get rid of his iron ore and give him back an elixir C for emergency purposes during battle. So let's keep that in mind as we inventory here. And we've got an extra elixir C in Zhang Rin's knapsack that we want to replace with the power pill. And Yan Yan, on the other hand, is ready to receive 2 power pills, and his knapsack will be filled up. Ma Dai already has 2 power pills, so he needs nothing else. And Zhang Fei is ready to receive 2 power pills. Zhu Jiliang has his full complement of particular stuff, and Guan Yu now only has 6 elixirs. So who was it that we wanted to get some of those elixirs out? Zhang Rin will pass his elixir to Guan Yu. Yan Yan is ready to receive. Ma Dai's got everything that he needs. And Zhang Fei is ready to receive. So, first thing we're going to do is buy the extra power pills. I think Ma Dai had everything that he needed. And then let's check and make sure that Guan Yu is filled up with elixirs. So, we are fully loaded again, and we are up to speed with our soldier count. So, let's head back to the swordsmith. And of course, we've got to fight our way through. Now, I know what you're thinking. This was kind of a boring transaction. To hit the swordsmith, go all the way to Mount Gangtai, and then come all the way back to the swordsmith. Is there any other way we could have done this? No. Unfortunately, I can't think of any way. If you can think of another way to do it, put it in the comments. But those swords, spoiler alert, eventually will become our weapons of choice throughout the game, right through the end of the game. They are the most powerful weapons, save for one, in the game. And at least we've advanced another skill level. And this Jimian tactic that you just saw is a very interesting one, and we'll talk about it when the time comes. But we're going to let Fa Zheng go, do our quick transaction with the swordsmith, just talk to him. You may want to attend other affairs while I work on the swords. So sure enough, we do want to attend other affairs. We've got a land to pacify, the rest of Shu. Now here, if you wanted to do a little shortcut, we could just gull wing from here back to Luo. And in the interest of time and in the mercy of my voice and your ears, we're going to let Ming Da go, and we are going to do the gull wing. Saving just a little bit of time, but we are going to, take the time. Luo always fakes me out because the market doesn't have one of those latticework doorways. We replace the gull wing. We are otherwise fully staffed and have not experienced enough casualties at this point to refresh ourselves, so let's go ahead and pass through Mount Gangtai to the other side. And the good news here is that it's a lot shorter to just go straight through Mount Gangtai than it was to wander through the maze to get to the iron ore. Not exactly a straight shot, but at least a lot shorter than last time we went through. Now, because I didn't refresh at Luo Castle, we're going to have to keep our eye on our generals to make sure we don't get any one of them in trouble. And as you can see, Zhang Fei is already in trouble. So we're just going to take an elixir C and give it to Zhang Fei. And you might notice that Zhang Rin, well, he's not quite 1,000 down yet. So we'll just hold off on any other elixirs for right now and continue through the tunnel. Now, just an aside here as we finish up this battle with Gao Pei and Ming Da, both of whom we've fought before, by the way. Notice that we don't get any rations from these warlords. It seems to me that any time you fight generals and warlords in the tunnels, they never have any rations for you. This doesn't bother us right now. As you can see, we've got over 122,000 rations, and we haven't had to worry about them during this part of the game. Later on in the game, they will become a little more critical. But just for right now, just notice, in the tunnels, you never get rations. We're going to let Ming Da go. Because we don't have any other fighting positions to substitute him into. He's not as big or as strong as Zhang... Well, he's bigger, but not as strong as Zhang Ren and Yan Yan. Or Ma Dai. And we can't put Zhang Fei and Guan Yu into reserve. So we're no longer in the market of new staff at this particular time. Just a question of pushing them out of the way. And out we come. And if you don't have a super duper graphic of the landscape of China, you would have a tendency to want to go north out of Mount Gangtai. I always do. But there's this little southward jaunt that you have to take before you get to the northward vector. And we're coming up to our next battle objective. It's a fortress called Manju Guan, and before we hit the barricade there, let's take a look. We need to upgrade Peng Tong, and we'll hold off on Zhang Ren just a little bit. And Zhang Fei needs to be upgraded, so Peng Tong and Zhang Fei, because we're obviously not going to get any elixirs out of the fortress. So we still need to conserve a little bit. And again, we're not going to use tactics or power pills here. We're going to duke it out with whoever we run into. Li Yan. We've already fought Li Yan. Liu Bao and Liu Jun. Well, I don't think we've fought Liu Bao, to be honest. But anyway, Li Yan, not much of anything going there. Liu Bao, obviously their tactician. And Liu Jun, also not much going there. So, just for the sake of caution, we're going to take their tactician off the board, and then I think we can do an all-out against those two generals, the warlords. Call them generals, call them warlords. I tend to call them generals if they are guys that we would bring into our staff, and warlords if they're just run-of-the-mill fighters that we don't care about. And they did cost us some casualties, but we were able to overcome them. And let's see what we can find in Manju Guan Fortress. Nothing here. Nothing here. And there's a treasure chest. Now, here's another little tip that I may have shared with you before. If there's a treasure chest anywhere in the fortress, then you're not going to find any other upgrades in any of the chamber pots / vases in the other tents. There's only one treasure per fortress, if there is any treasure at all. And almost always, that I can think of, maybe always, it's an upgrade to your weaponry. So let's, I think we are full up right now. No, we have done used some elixirs, so we've got space in the knapsacks. So let's take a look at what Zhang Rin has. We remember, I think it was Ma Dai, he was in this position when we last got an upgrade to a battle axe. So Zhang Rin should be the next one to get a battle axe. So we're going to pass his sword to Guan Yu. And then we're going to check in the treasure chest, and sure enough, another battle axe. And we are going to equip, oops, I guess, did we have space in Peng Tong's knapsack? Let's send a C to Peng Tong's knapsack. Okay, so by rights, when Ma Dai went down in the rankings, we probably should have passed his battle axe up forward. And right now, it would be most fair to pass Ma Dai's battle axe to Yan Yan. But that seems to be a fairly insignificant change at this point. So do it if you wanna. It looks to me like Zhang Rin needs 2 elixir Cs now, and Ma Dai needs 1. So let's do that. And let's just double check our configurations now. And it's looking pretty good. Yan Yan is only 500 soldiers down, so we'll hold off on an elixir C for him. Now, just to show you this clever little funny here. Doesn't have anything to do with the progress of the game, but talking to this character, he apparently went to Mount Gangtai and couldn't find the iron ore. So he can't go home empty-handed. Now let's go talk to this little lady over here. My husband went to Mount Gangtai to find iron, but that was over 3 years ago. I fear foul play. Or maybe he's right here in this same fortress, but he doesn't want to talk to you because he's ashamed to come home empty-handed. Well, clever little comic relief, I guess, or comic tragedy. Tragicomedy. So Capcom does have a sense of humor after all. And here we come to the last castle in Shu. Yay! And since we just upgraded ourselves, I think we're in good enough shape to hit that barricade right away. Truth of the matter is, we've already fought Lai Tong once, or twice, and we've fought Wu Lan before as well. And we are strong enough, we've got enough elixirs still in our bags that we can afford to do the all-out against these barricade defenders. And we advanced another skill level. Let's see if that affects our order of battle here. No, it does not. A few more soldiers. but not enough to move up a group for either Zhang Fei or Guan Yu. But let's take a look now at our needs as far as elixirs are concerned. And Yan Yan obviously needs one. Zhang Rin could use one. Zhang Fei and Ma Dai are okay. Peng Tong's okay for the moment. So let's use 2 C's for Zhang Rin and Yan Yan because, again, we're right there at the castle. We'll be able to replace them. And remember that we've got extra elixir C's in the acting tactician knapsack as well as the trailer knapsack. And given that, why don't we go ahead and replenish Peng Tong. And that should be sufficient. Okay, this looks like a pretty formidable array here. This looks like we're going to need to use our tactics and our power pills. Louis Jing. Oh, remember Louis Jing? He was the guy that we freed at Fushui Castle, and now he has turned against us. And if we'd been talking to all the characters, we would have been apprised of this, that he was waiting to fight us. So he turned out to be a bigger, I won't say the word, than even we thought when we let him out of there. No wonder he didn't do anything against the rebels. He turned into one. And let's see, Gao Pai has a strength of 172. He's a little bit stronger than Louis Jing, but he's only got a percentage of the soldier count. Wu Yi is kind of middle of the road for this point in the game. And Wan Lai is a tactician, not a very smart one, but just in case, we will do muscle against Wang Lai first, and we'll use intelligence when we get it. We'll use tactics against Gao Pai first of all. So let's see, Peng Tong, we're going to do the Beiji combo trick again. And the power pill against Wang Lai. Yan Yan will just do a regular battle. Ma Dai, regular battle. Zhang Fei, regular battle. Since we've only got one tactician now, and you notice what a huge effect that had on Zhang Rin's power pill, over 2,000 casualties, and Wan Lai is completely off the board. And we'll do the same thing again. Beiji tactic for Yan Yan, and then Zhang Rin, who's still got the Beiji in effect, will do power pill against Gao Pai. And Yan Yan will do his power pill against Wu Yi, because I don't think Gao Pai, well, let's go ahead and take Gao Pai off the board. Louis Jing, I think we can wait for the end because he's the least powerful of all of the entourage. Yeah, we only needed really one power pill and one regular strike to get rid of Gao Pai. But so be it. And now let's do one more Beiji. We'll give that one to Ma Dai. Zhang Rin is now out of power pills, I believe. So we'll just do a regular attack against Wu Yi. We'll let Yan Yan use his last power pill against Wu Yi. We'll let Ma Dai use his first power pill against Louis Jing. And Zhang Fei will just do a regular strike. So I generally hang on to the power pills until I can match them with the Beiji increase tactic. And Lui Jing is not long for this world, traitor that he was. And Shu has been settled. We have accomplished our 5th quest. If you just call Zhuji Liang and the Iron Ore mini quests, then the settling of Shu is the achievement of the next quest. Let's invite Liu Bei to Chengdu and report our success to him. We have redeemed his family's honor. Cool beans. And now he tells us that a swordsmith came by looking for us, saying something about swords. So now we've got another little mini quest, is to go back to the swordsmith and theoretically pick up our swords. Spoiler alert, it's not going to be that easy. But before we do that, we're going to replenish our stores. There is a weapons upgrade here as well, I believe, and we'll save our game and come up for the next time. I'll do the housekeeping and we'll revisit when it's time to move on to our mini quest of picking up the swords. Thanks for watching and happy gaming.